The following is a conversation. It has the features of any conversation, such as imperfectly expressed thoughts, ill-considered opinions, and the notions of several sleep-deprived brains. Try not to get your stethoscope in a twist about it.
Let's begin.
Boy.
I don't know.
Let us begin.
Welcome back to the Short Coat Podcast. It's a production of the University of Iowa Carver College of Medicine. Nothing is recording. What?
This is going great.
Off to a good start.
No.
I really came in saying that the universe had great energy today, and Dave's kind of tanking it right now.
Well, no,
Look, the universe has great energy. That has nothing to do with Dave. Dave can make his mistakes.
No,
The edited version of the show hardly ever shows my mistakes.
Oh.
Wait, you don't keep in you mispronouncing your own name 3
Look.
weeks in a row?
Wait, have you seriously done that?
Not my own name. I do stumble over
Last week you messed
It's not a mispronouncing. It's more like
I am Dov Ottler.
Dov Eatler.
Last week you messed up your own name on the sign-off.
Yeah, but that's because I was full of disgusting drinks.
I don't know who did that. I don't know who gave you so many gross things to drink.
What did you drink?
We did a
Really
little trivia game. If people got their answer right, I had to drink, which turned out to be not a good idea for my gastrointestinal tract because it was things like vinegar and
You picked it.
Oh, it really was vinegar.
yeah, it was nasty.
Oh, God.
It was in a small cup and everything was warm.
Our breath stank when we left.
I had chocolate milk, so...
Meandering in the margins of medicine, it's the Short Coat Podcast.
Weird news,
Fresh views
helpful clues, and interviews.
by students for students.
Subscribe to our weekly show at theshortcoat.com.
Welcome back to the Short Coat Podcast. It's a production of the University of Iowa Carver College of Medicine by the students drinking from that fire hose. I didn't write down anything for the intro this week. I slacked big time.
It's spring break.
It is spring break, and that's fine.
For a few of us.
Yeah, I really didn't take it as a spring break, so...
Well, but yeah, the spirit is there, though.
Yeah,
For me,
a little bit, yeah.
Let me introduce my co-hosts before we get too far. Say hello to MD PhD student Daniel Sands.
Hello.
We've also got M1 Faith Prohaska.
Hi.
M2 Jacob Lamb.
Hello.
And joining us from the internet, M1 Jeff Goddard.
Hello.
From an undisclosed location.
Yeah, he's even got his background blurred because, got to keep that.
I don't want you guys to be jealous.
You got to keep that shit secret. But yeah, it is spring break. It's also match day.
Yeah, there are people all in the lobby. Infectious energy downstairs.
Yeah.
The vibes are great.
Yeah. We did, I feel, very well this year. We do very well most years. But this year, I feel like in the end, after soap and everything, we did very well. So I'm very pleased about my friends getting their jobs. I don't know how many of them are happy about where they've ended up because I don't know where they ended up. I left before a lot of people started opening their envelopes. But I did bring some statistics for you to look at if you want to, sort of familiarize yourself with what happened. For those of you not listening, or
I sure hope you're listening.
For those of you not listening, you're not going to hear it anyway, so we're not going to address you.
For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Match Week is the week where people find out whether they got jobs after medical school. And so that's the first day of Match Week, which is Monday.
It's such a dark way of putting it.
Yeah,
it's right.
It's true, though.
And I think, is it not popular opinion that this is a bit of an archaic system?
Well, here's the thing.
You mean having, doctors' careers decided by the same way we pick sororities?
Yeah, maybe just a little tinge outdated. Maybe that's not the best way to determine your future and also where you move.
I feel like it's...
On a month's notice.
Yeah, on a month's notice. And you have to scramble for apartments and houses.
I mean, here's how it works. You've done all your interviews, right? Then you and the programs that you have interviewed with, you all submit a rank order list of the people that you want in your program or the place where you want to go for your job. And then it gets run through an algorithm administered by the National Residency Matching Program. And that algorithm probably takes about 30 seconds to run. And then after that, on Monday of Match Week, you find out whether you matched. And if you didn't, then you go through the Supplemental Offer and Acceptance Program, called SOAP. And at that point, you are just finding out which programs still have openings and then applying to those programs. And hopefully, at the end of the week, you also have a destination.
And soap is also what I hear. Wait, I can swear on this, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll bleep out whatever's objectionable.
Oh, just like all I hear about is it's just a shit show.
It's, you know what it is? I feel like this is an efficient system.
Your
The match
eyes
algorithm,
narrowing.
Well, so the match algorithm is designed to create what they call a stable marriage between.
I mean, they won a Nobel Prize for it. Like, it's a phenomenal algorithm, to be fair.
But the problem that I think most people have with it is that it doesn't feel very humane. It doesn't feel very self-deterministic. Is that the right word, Jeff? I'm going to ask Jeff because he knows words.
Sure. Yeah, those are more than one word, so we're going to go with yes. But
it does. It feels like there's a lack of agency there.
Yeah.
On the part of the students, although the match algorithm does favor students a little bit.
I will say I'm a little reluctant to hand my fate over to the algorithm when we start talking about it that way. It's like
the problem is that the students are not the ultimate concern for the algorithm. They're a high concern, like you said. They get priority over the hospitals, but the ultimate concern are the patients, right? So if everybody is just like, the system before we had the match, it was like an actual shit show. Like, people didn't know if they were going to, like, hospitals didn't know if they were going to have people, or they would start giving offers when medical students were in like their second year of medical school.
Yeah,
right?
It was kind of the Wild West in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it was a disaster, and it was mostly a disaster for the patients that weren't going to be able to be treated because there weren't going to be residents, and nobody knew if they're going to be residents. So the system, it kind of shores up those holes. So in that, I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, like, it's definitely better than what was there before for all the reasons that you're saying, but I think the beef that students have going into it is not knowing. Like, it's the same gripe that we all kind of have with applying to medical school, that, submit over the summer, and then some people don't hear back until a year later of like what they're going to do with the rest of their lives. But now you have a month to get there, be ready to work, and you have absolutely no idea where you're going. Also, that they run the algorithm and they're like, well, we know, but did you match? Figure out Monday. And it's like, tell me.
Yeah,
like,
and that's like, if we're going to talk about it being so efficient, it's just like, you should know immediately. It's
I think they want
to. And they're like, yeah, you did it. And you're like, okay, well, where? And they're like, wait,
and I think we're talking about focusing on the patients. I don't know how great doctors are going to be off if they are rushed with just a month to spare. I mean, I think...
Well, let's face it. You guys are M4 is going into residency. It's going to be a little bit of a shit show for a little while. Not in the sense that people will not be well taken care of, but in the sense that interns barely know, I think, enough
we should
medicine.
do everything to make it less of a shit show, though.
Yeah.
Well, look,
I'm for that. Like, I would definitely love if it takes 30 seconds to run it, just like give us the results immediately. That would be reasonable. But I'm also biased on the housing thing because, like, I'm in New York right now. Like, finding housing in New York is like, if it's on the housing market for more than a week, it's probably not a good place to live, right? So things go quick here. I'm not really worried about only having a month to find a house. I'm just kind of used to that. I guess it's probably different in places like Iowa.
Like a Big Ten college town where most people sign leases a year in advance.
Yeah, that's different for me. That's fair.
I think some programs in New York, but certainly not all of, offer housing for residents, I think.
Yeah.
If I recall.
A plug for Cornell, please sponsor us. Their residents get subsidized housing right on, like, I think it's on 5th, which is like overlooking Central Park. It's
amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything jump out at you for those statistics?
I think they line up with like the goals of CCOM from like what I remember from applying, like seeing that about 40% are entering primary care and the majority of people are staying in Iowa. The sounds of paper flipping through the microphone are really interesting.
That's fine. A little ASMR, goodness. Yeah, that percentage of people going into primary care, I think it's actually a little bit lower this year. And I think that might be a correction. Last year it was kind of high. But, that's a thing. Every year it's a little bit different.
I like that a lot of people are staying in this area. About a third going to Iowa. Another 20% of the student body staying in states that border Iowa. That's probably a good thing toward CCOM's mission of trying to take care of people in this area.
That's the goal.
Yeah. I mean, it couldn't be me, but I'm glad that people are doing that.
You're glad that someone else does it so you don't have to.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
you get me.
I feel like in general, like the people I talk with, like if they're from out of state, far away, they don't want to stay here.
Yeah, well, we have a minimum number of Iowans to take in, and that's why.
All the Southern California people, like, when it was beautiful and gorgeous in August, we're like, you know what? I really like it here. Like, it's really nice. Like, the people are wonderful. And that first snowstorm hits, and they're like, I don't want to be here after graduation.
Yeah, cannot do it.
I mean, it really
They're not strong enough.
hasn't been that bad. And again, I'm not like completely SoCal. I used to also live in Connecticut, so I had some prior experience.
Did you live in bougie Connecticut, or did you live in?
Isn't all of Connecticut bougie?
I mean,
Connecticut?
it's like
no.
it's
There's
like
you go up into
new, like Groton. It's like
that's like there's a
Mystic.
a submarine base, I think.
Yeah, there's a submarine base. It wasn't exactly bougie Connecticut. I mean, definitely a little bit bougier. Now, like, I have reflection on my past. I'm like, we were not like poor off. So I was like,
I
but
just,
not
my
like
entire understanding of Connecticut is the Gilmore Girls. So
I was not living like that. I was not living in like New Haven,
New Haven.
Stars Hollow.
New Haven is not
New
bougie.
Haven is not bougie.
God damn it.
New Canaan.
Yeah.
New Canaan, Stanford.
Yeah,
those
those nice bougie towns. Yeah, that have like everything perfect, and then like, oh, how to get all this nice? Don't look at the exploitation.
Yeah, let's not look too closely. You guys are mostly pretty young as far as in terms of determining what your specialty will be, but there are tables there that show specialty results.
Damn. Well, pathology looks like if you're a U.S. applicant, you can just like shoe yourself in.
I think I think
99% of MD seniors, I believe, match to path. So that's not bad. Those not bad numbers, not bad odds there.
What does it say for emergency medicine?
Yeah, emergency medicine had over 500 spots on Monday. So, I mean, a lot of people could have soaked into them.
Yep.
But still, 500 was...
Yeah, there was a bunch
that was scary.
I think there were a bunch of new emergency medicine programs this year, so that probably explains that.
Oh, yeah.
That jump. But yeah, this was your year if you're going to... And last year, I think emergency medicine was competitive. Surprisingly competitive, I think.
Well, last year they had 200-something open spots.
Oh, is that right? Or maybe I'm thinking of...
I follow some emergency medicine department people on the Twitters.
On the Twitter.
And they were all a flutter this week, so...
Yeah. Where you going there, Faith? Oh, she's doing the med student thing. She's getting out a highlighter.
I think I'm more accurately doing the MSTP thing, but...
Is that the MSTP thing?
I mean, that's what I commonly blame a lot of my like anal retentive tendencies on, or just doing too much all the time is just on MSTP.
I feel like Daniel might be your polar opposite.
Maybe my standards have started like, just because PhD life is like hit like a train.
Right.
This is start, and then this is the progression through.
I mean, I think also the pandemic did a number on me. Like, it was just zooming into classes all day, and I realized, like, wait a minute, I'm doing okay.
Yeah. Daniel is, if I were just, listeners, Daniel's new here. You haven't met him before.
Yeah,
I would say that Daniel is the chaos side, whereas Faith is more of the controlled side of the med student MSTP brain. Do you think?
That was quite the euphemism, yeah.
I was stretching a little bit.
Stretching. On
it
who?
takes all kinds. It takes
on
all
who?
kinds. You can be chaotic too and be an MD PhD student.
Yeah. What up? Join us.
Yeah.
Just right now.
What's that?
I have a chaotic nature. Just numbers right now. So
Okay.
I'm analytical in the numbers.
I don't know why, and we haven't known each other all that long, Faith. But I do feel like you might be one of those people who's like knows what she wants, knows where she's going, has a plan.
Surprisingly, that's probably also me.
First off, I don't like being called out. I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with having a plan.
Audacity you have to just call me out on a recorded podcast.
There's nothing wrong with having a plan.
There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't like you psychoanalyzing me.
Hey, I have a plan.
Recorded nature.
And I'm the chaotic person.
You're not being psychoanalyzed right now.
How are you being psychoanalyzed?
I feel like it a little bit.
Let's psychoanalyze Daniel.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Anybody
Yeah, what up?
No. I won't do that to Daniel, just to Faith.
It's because I gave you that last jalapeno shot, wasn't it?
This is my comeuppance.
Well, it looks like over year, the USMDs It's relatively consistent, though it did go down last year, like percentage-wise. I mean, otherwise, I mean, it is, remarkably consistent. MDs look like they have a little higher match percentage than the DOs, which is silly.
And what is that?
93.7? Well, for 2023, 93.7% matched versus DOs, 91.6. So it's a little bit of a discrepancy, but I don't know if that's really that significant.
It is if you're
close.
I guess it is if you're a DO.
Yeah, it is. This is true. It's like that 2% could make or break things, right?
Yeah.
Short Coats, we love to hear from you, no matter what it's about. So call us at 347-SHORT-CT with questions, shower thoughts, complaints about your situation, whatever you like. We'll talk about it on the show. Logically speaking, you can't define your self-worth by whether or not you matched or whether you got into medical school or, how many positions down on your rank order list you ended up matching at or anything like that. But, that's kind of a hard
Dave, I can define myself by whatever I want. Thank you.
True. I do always say define your metric, but I hope that you wouldn't. I hope that people wouldn't define themselves by these numbers and these results.
And then plug for therapy.
Yes. Go to therapy.
You know what's scary for me looking at these numbers is they're entirely useless for what I want to do with my career.
Yeah, because
it's incredibly unfortunate.
Yeah, say again what you're planning.
So I want to go into preventive medicine. There is officially one seat. Check it, one seat in the entire country, and it's on that list of a categorical program for preventive medicine. Is it advanced residency? Most advanced residencies like derm or anesthesia or something like that, they have categorical programs. So they'll do that intern year where they'll like throw you around the hospital. They're at the same program, and then you just like walk across the hall and like, now I'm in derm, right? In your second year. Preventive medicine, you go do a transitional year and then reapply for your PGY 2 year into preventive medicine. So there's no LinkedIn program where you're just like apply once and you're done. So that's exciting for me.
It says here for preventive medicine, there's 4 programs.
4?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's
that's
quadrupled.
New. Last year there was literally one seat. It was at Loma Linda. It was the only categorical program.
And they say 7 positions offered. Number of programs. I mean, it's medicine-preventive medicine.
Well, right? On this table.
That's okay. So there's a couple of different specialties.
Okay.
Those are like the joint programs. Those are people that are going into internal medicine, and it's like med peds.
Gotcha. Sorry, James. What were you gonna say?
Jacob.
Oh, Christ. Sorry.
No, you're good. It said this year they have 0 positions offered for PGY 1.
Look at that.
And
it's less than last year.
I don't even see it on the PGY 2 position, so...
Yeah, it's not even listed.
Good luck.
So last year there were 600-something spots, and like 370 of them were filled, so a little bit over half, because nobody knows about the existence of this specialty, which is great for me, but also kind of sketchy because I don't know like a lot of data on it. It's kind of hard. You're just kind of like guessing a lot of the time, but it's fine. I actually spent some of my spring break lobbying for increased funding for this particular residencies, and it's an accredited residency program. Like they've been one at Hopkins for the last 60 years, right? But because nobody knows about it, it's kind of weird.
Now this is interesting too. A U.S. citizen grads of international medical schools, it went up from like 67.6 match this year from 61.4 last year. It's a big old jump.
Pretty important part of the healthcare workforce, international medical graduates, whether you're a U.S. IMG is a U.S. resident who goes to an international medical school, and then there are non-U.S. IMG international medical graduates who don't come from the U.S. and who end up matching in a U.S. residency position. Pretty important part of the healthcare system. They tend to fill a lot of primary care roles.
I mean, data are good, but it's also, be on us for the next couple of years. It's not something that I'm super...
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Feel that.
No point dwelling on it.
Yeah, these numbers mean nothing to me right
I'm like,
now.
I mean,
that's the thing. I look at these numbers. Like, I've been looking at these numbers for years, and I still have trouble understanding exactly what they mean for an individual person. And so I think that's probably the dilemma of any set of statistics for a relatively large group of people, is they're meaningless for the individual.
That makes a lot of, like, if you look at it, like the MD match rate's like almost 94%, right? So like if there was a coin where it's like you have a 94% chance of success, like you seem like, yeah, I'll do fine. But then there's always the few people who don't match and they have a completely different experience. And I think that's like something to always remember. It's like you're more than just the statistics. Like you're you and your individual.
I think a large part, those people tend to be, and this is based off of internet search. I actually have no data on this, but this is just me talking to people. A lot of those people that don't match are people that maybe stretch beyond their qualifications, let's say, and they are unwilling to consider another option, right? So if there is even one seat that goes unfilled, that means that there was somebody who could have matched but chose not to because they'd rather try again next year and their preferred specialty, right? So not that I'm saying that if you're like just bound and determined to look at skin for the rest of your life, you should just settle for, I don't know, obstetrics. Like maybe that's just not for you, but
yeah, you don't want to you don't want to end up in a career that you're not going to fully embrace and enjoy.
Exactly.
But yeah, you to some extent a lot of times a choice has been made. So
yeah.
Well, if you matched last week, I guess when this comes out, congratulations. And if you didn't match, I still love you. I still love you. Keep looking for work. You don't have to, at this point in the process, you don't have to just be like, oh, well, there's nothing I can do. People find jobs outside of the match after the match. So there you go. You've reclaimed your self-determinism, I guess.
And you are not defined by it.
That's right.
After all,
what a computer says that you can do for the rest of your life.
And also this is a job. It's a job. So I think that's always important to bear in mind.
You guys know?
Did you guys see the Texas plastic surgeon that like on Monday posted a job opportunity? She's like, if you didn't match, you can come here. And it was
you can write notes.
Come be a
scribe position for an MD. I'm like, oh gosh.
Sure.
That's exploitative.
That sounds fine.
I feel great about him as someone who like knows kind of what they want to go into. Like looking at number of unfilled positions for child neurology, peds in general, and then peds medical genetics. I feel great. That is so many years away. But for right now, I mean, neurodev disabilities is so small. Like looking at how many programs there are and how many spots that they offer. So the fact that all of those get filled makes sense. But everything else has open spots, so it gives me a little bit of hope for the future.
Sure.
Knowing that the stuff that,
sure.
M1 Faith wants to do.
We'll check in with you
in 7 years.
In a zillion years.
Yeah.
And we'll see how calm you are then.
Yeah. 7 years.
I'm sure, yeah.
Plus or minus one.
TBD, as they always make
TBD.
us for graduation
TBD.
day. That's the worst. Clicking 2030 is awful for graduation day. Putting TBD because the system doesn't even recognize that people graduate so far out hurts more.
I like how they stop increasing the number.
Well, because at
6G
2030 they like believe in you. They're like, yeah, you can do this. This is the year that you're gonna leave. TBD, they're like, eventually we'll see you out. Like, call it a day, get it figured out.
We'll figure it out.
2030.
Stopping counting at M6.
Jesus Christ, 2030. That's weird to say.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're living in the year 20. I mean, still 2023.
When are we going to stop saying the 20 part? Like, it's 23. What year is it? It's 23. I don't think that I need to. It's been almost a quarter of a century. I don't feel like I have to tell you what century we're in anymore.
Should we? Yeah, you're right. I think we should.
We are in the 20s. I mean, it's very funny that it's like we're replaying a lot of the same stuff from the last 20s.
This fits in with the hypothesis that every 80 years history repeats itself.
Well, no, it's like, what's the Mark Twain quote? History doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme.
Our episode today is sponsored by Panacea Financial, a nationwide digital bank built for doctors by doctors. Panacea Financial is designed for medical students and residents as it was founded by two doctors that were financially frustrated during their training. Thousands of doctors have used their PRN personal loan to avoid credit cards and have a better way to cover expenses for residency relocation or other life expenses. Panacea's PRN personal loan does not require a cosigner, has no minimum credit score requirement, and has interest rates starting at half of a typical credit card. They also offer a period of no or reduced payments on their PRN personal loan. So go to panaceafinancial.com/matchday to learn more about Panacea and get other helpful information on Matchday, residency transition, and enter their $500 giveaway to those starting residency this year. Panacea Financial is a division of Primis, member FDIC. Thanks, Panacea Financial, for the support. Really appreciate it. Let's get back to the podcast. Let's take a minute to get to know you guys a little bit better.
Oh, dear.
So you know about these 36 questions that you can ask your
the ones
mate,
to fall in love. Yeah,
the ones that make you fall in love. Let's see if we can fall in love with each other.
Yeah, make us fall in love with you
today.
I thought you were just going to ask us what we did for spring break or something.
This is wild,
Dave
man.
felt a little too targeted when I gave you like so many
Dave,
awful
wanted to
shots
get
last week. So now you're like, no, we need to be nice to each other.
This is a part of my long-term plan to make people nicer to me.
I thought you were about to say this is my long-term plan to make a polycule or something. I'm like, Christ, man. What's coming out of that mouth in that next set? Okay.
There you go. Long-term, I don't want you I'm not going to, love won't be requited. At least not in the sense that I think the person who authored these questions, the psychologist Arthur Aaron and others.
Oh my God.
And others.
I told you I put in minimal effort in this show. So there are 36 questions guaranteed to make you fall in love with your partner, your potential partner, if you ask these questions. So let's start with this. Daniel, given the choice of anyone in the world, who would you want as a dinner guest?
Oh, the dinner guest. Oh, God. I always like...
Dinner guest. I'll tell you what mine would be.
Yeah, let's hear yours. I'm going to keep thinking.
I think mine would be like Conan O'Brien. I like me some Conan.
That checks. Yeah, that's par for the course.
Conan O'Brien. I'm predictable. Thank you for pointing that out. I want to eat with somebody who's funny. Funnier than me. Which is not, it's not that hard.
You weren't just going to set up a mirror? Oh, gotcha.
You haven't given me an answer yet, Daniel.
I know I haven't given you an answer
yet. Given the choice of anyone in the world, living or dead. Let's expand it. Living or dead.
Okay. I mean, I'm going to go with right now. I mean, just because I'm thinking about him. I mean, he's like kind of an old family friend. I mean, his name is Steve Morris. I mean, I'm just thinking about him because I'm like, I called him recently and I hadn't had time to, properly catch up with him. So, I just haven't seen him in a while. So, right now.
Oddly, that was my answer as well. I was going to.
Yeah, I know.
Also, Steve Morris.
Also, Steve, who knows.
Yeah, no. Well, you said anyone in the world. So, you know what? It's a valid answer.
Daniel, why do you want to meet with Steve? It's just to catch up?
Yeah, just to catch up because I've been thinking about him.
Daniel, that's wholesome.
Who is this
That's a good answer.
I said he's an old family friend. He was a really good friend. He was a really good friend of my dad. So like they did their postdoc together. Yes, and just kind of like an uncle to me. So right now I am, I was just thinking about him because I hadn't had a chance to properly catch up with him, and he celebrated.
Maybe he'd have some uncleish advice for you.
Oh yeah, no, he absolutely does. He's great, and it's just like he got to celebrate my previous birthday with my sister. I mean, we're twins, so he was with my sister, and I was kind of just here. I mean, I had a small birthday gathering, but it'd be cool to see him.
Okay.
Stop poking holes in it, Dave. Let him enjoy his family friend.
You're right. He sounds all right. He sounds like a good guy. Faith.
Yeah.
Before you make a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say?
It depends on who I'm calling. Like if I'm just FaceTiming one of my old friends, then no.
Do you ever?
I think when I was younger and I had to like call my dentist to like make an appointment or something, then it was 100%. Because my mom heard me leave a voicemail once. I'm just like, that's the worst voicemail you've ever left. It was so...
Oh, wow.
It was so scatterbrained of like, hi, well, my name's Faith, blah, 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 and this is my birthday, and this is how you can call me back, and all these things, and, oh, yeah, this is why I'm calling. And my mom was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, I don't like when you call somebody and you unexpectedly get voicemail, and then you're like, oh, shit, I had hoped to have a conversation, and now I have to state my business.
I was hoping
like a normal human.
I was hoping to get Lori, the receptionist that's known me since I was little, and would know exactly why I was calling. And I got some weird voicemail. But yeah, like if it's something I've been putting off, like making an appointment, then this is what I need to do. Like, this is why I'm calling. This is when I'm available, these kind of things. But normally it's just impulse. But I also think the people I call are like friends from back home that I haven't seen in forever. And everyone else I text or do it online.
I don't call anybody
dating,
to be honest with you.
Oh, what? No one?
I don't call. I really don't call people.
Holy shit, dude.
I know. It's not a great...
So when I just called you today, you're like, who the fuck is this?
Like, Jesus. Well, it came up as I had you in mind.
He immediately tries to get him off the phone. He's like, all right, I know.
Daniel was explaining like why he was late and what was happening, and he was driving, and I'm like, okay, okay.
Bye.
Okay, Daniel.
I'm hanging up now. Click.
But that's my impulse, is to get off the phone as quickly as possible because, I don't know, I'm insecure about phone conversations. I always have been. I had to, at an early age, manage expectations for how often I was going to call home. Not because I don't love my family. I do very deeply. But, how often do I have things to say? And there's no such thing as a comfortable silence on a telephone.
You're calling the wrong people.
Yeah, I mean, I try and call people I think that's how I'm trying to keep it.
I wish I was like that.
Like,
I really do.
I cannot...
I hate talking on the phone.
I cannot just text people, and especially over the early pandemic. I said pandemic. I mean, it's still the pandemic.
We're okay.
I was going insane. I was like, just like texting people. I'm like, this fucking sucks. So I finally got up the guts to call people, and I'm like,
I did speak more often with people.
This is great. Why haven't I done this more? It's not.
I was calling
it's
people
not.
I had not talked to in years.
Oh yes, absolutely. I was like, who haven't I talked to? Who's like a old friend who I want to check in on? Because also it's an unknown virus. It's like, I don't know if and people have died from this. People as young as us. I'm like, I mean, I've already thought about my own mortality a lot younger, but like, it was very much facing it like in a large societal way. I mean, come on, seriously.
Yeah, for sure. It was an existential crisis.
I just watched Tiger King, so
3 years.
I don't know.
This podcast
3 years too
is
late.
so chaotic.
I like it.
I worked at the hospital. I didn't want to see more people during the pandemic. I was good.
Yeah, Jacob. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want? Mind or body?
Do I have a neurodegenerative disease?
No, you're just a person.
Well, the mind-body duality is not real, so checkmate.
Okay.
Fate just about damn near spit out her drink.
I recovered from that. No one noticed it until you pointed it out.
I mean, I feel like the obvious answer would be to have a 30-year-old body, 90-year-old brain, right? Because you have all the crystal knowledge. Well,
yeah,
crystallized memory. Yeah.
Also being young, and hopefully I'm more fit by the time I'm 30. But the gym is hard in med school.
I would go with. I mean, assuming that 90-year-old brain does not mean dementia.
Yeah,
I'm down with the. I want to have a younger body than a. What do you think, Jeff?
I would much rather have the mind. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I'm 30 now, and if bodies only deteriorate from here, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
But that said, I do not want any kind of mental decline with my old age. And things like your reflexes are slower, your adaptive memory is slower. I don't want any of that. I'd rather be sharp as a tack. I want to be learning until the day I die. I don't want any of this, I'm too old to learn that new thing. Like that.
Yeah,
that's actually true. I do hope that, and I do hope that I don't start creeping into that territory of not being able to learn new, or not wanting to learn new things, because I think part of it is sort of a drive to learn new things. But I'm saying that as a 52-year-old who doesn't really know what it's like to be, 90. But yeah, I would feel it would be kind of awful to not want to expand my horizons.
That said, I mean, I also do know, I went to undergrad in Utah. There are some pretty popular 90-year-old skiers running around, so maybe I'll just get lucky and be one of those anyway.
Yeah, let's see.
It makes me so nervous
terrible.
when you laugh at it before you ask it.
Ask me an intimate question, Dave.
I'm going to. Okay, all right, Jeff. Do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
I actually do. I talked to my wife about this just the other day.
Do you want to share that secret hunch? That's a personal.
Sure. No, yeah, I'm down for it. This might get uncomfortable, but go to therapy. You'll be fine, guys. My father died when he was 36, and he died of a brain aneurysm. And there's a genetic component to that. And being over the age of 30 is one of the big risk factors. having an immediate relative that has died of one is another huge risk factor. So like I'm already over 15% likelihood of dying of a brain aneurysm now at 30. So that one's probably on my mind.
Can't you take a peek in there? Can't you take a peek in there to know?
I mean, I guess somebody could, but like I'm a poor medical student. Who's going to peek at my brain for free? So
does this count as...
You can get an MRI as a part of the research studies. That's how I got a photo of my brain.
I've been trying to get into all of these research studies that say MRI. I just immediately joined.
And
they're like,
they let you in?
Yeah.
Wait, how?
I'll send you the email if you want it.
Yes, I would, because I'm like, they generally don't let us, the brains into
they were comparing T3 and a T7 MRI to see the same person on the same day, but they normally don't want, most of the neuroimaging studies they don't want any deviation from normal in your brain. So
i.e. depression, anxiety, ADHD, schizophrenia,
so they'll
yada.
self-screen for that. But if they're just looking at, they're basically using a bunch of people's brains as a
internal
blank to
controls.
Compare. So they don't care about any of that because they're not using any of the parameters of my brain. They're just using it to compare between the two pictures.
I see.
So they don't care what they're taking a picture of. So I got to get a photo of my brain.
Okay.
And I treasure it so much. Thank you so much to the people in PBDB who let me sit in an MRI and play Taylor Swift for me. Shout out you guys. You guys are real ones.
Hey, we could probably sneak down there. We must know.
Okay, you can't just operate at a... You can't just sneak.
You don't just push the button?
No.
You just push the button. Hey, it's not really that complicated.
Okay, but you can't just
don't move for 45 minutes.
I feel like that if you try and sneak into an MRI, that's how you get like a piece of metal just like flying off and killing you.
Yeah.
It was a great nap, I will tell you that. It was the easiest thing I've ever done in this building, was to lay down and take a nap and listen to Taylor Swift for 30 minutes and 45 minutes.
That is the dream.
Shit.
Anyway, that's how I'm going to die.
All right.
So does the aneurysm count as like the brain of a 90-year-old or body of a 90-year-old?
Because you could have that aneurysm your whole life.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I mean, my father, he was 36. Maybe I won't ever have anything. Maybe there's nothing up there. Who knows?
Yeah.
Damn.
I wouldn't say maybe there's nothing.
I mean, there's clearly something up there.
There's nothing.
It's just a whistling hole.
Listen, I think there's some stuff up there because you do agree with me.
Yeah, and you are talking. You are talking, so...
I got that one down.
Actually, also, this is just making me think of... have you ever... It's a short story called They're Made of Meat. It's a science fiction story in which it's like... two like robots intercept human communications and they're just like thinking about humans. It's like, what? They're meat?
They're made of meat?
They're thinking meat? It's great story. Look it up if you haven't read it already.
I think it's like a Hank Green quote or something that we're just like a meat sack with chemicals.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I really... Again, Hank Green, another person we should get on the podcast.
Again, as I said earlier, the mind-body duality is fake.
Shortcoats, if you're enjoying our conversation today, I'd be grateful if you'd let people know by posting a story on Instagram or Facebook or tweeting about us. And don't forget to tag us in your post.
Thank you.
If you could wake up tomorrow...
I would like to.
Such a bad...
It's like a poorly placed
We just
pause.
went from, do you think you know how you're going to die, to if you could wake up tomorrow.
It was a poorly placed pause.
That feels like a threat, Dave. If you could wake up tomorrow.
Where the hell did it go? Okay, if you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one ability or quality, what would it be? Anyone can answer. I'm done picking.
I would like to be able to... I would like to have more discipline, I think. I would like to be able to see things through a little bit better.
That's a good one. You've given me something to think about. I was gonna go with muscles, but
I thought you were gonna say your stand-up routine. I want a better stand-up routine.
I want some muscles.
Maybe like
so
an eidetic memory.
What's that?
Like an eidetic memory. It's variants of like photographic memory.
Yeah.
Does it have to be
make things a lot easier?
Like, are we also considering like superpowers or like what is this in the bounds of reality or is this not bounded by reality?
Let's bind it to the real.
Okay.
Dang it. Can't be the Avatar.
Yeah, I was like, because if we're talking about superpowers, man, we can
That's
we can
a
get
separate question later on.
We can get real wild with it.
Yeah.
I wish I had a lot more like charisma and like able to just like win people over.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I also wish you weren't so awkward, Jacob.
That would be That's really actually
so mean.
That's actually a really super desirable quality, though. I think it would be so useful to be able to, be charismatic and be able to communicate with people my ideas and my thoughts about how things should be, and have them be like, hey, you know what? That's a good idea. Rather than what happens now, which is when I say, hey, I have an idea, people are like, okay, that's weird, because it usually is. But how much more fun would my life be if I could convince people to do weird things?
No, I get that.
Yeah, charisma is it's a 10 out of 10 quality skill to wake up with.
Yeah.
Could also help me make more friends and get a girlfriend,
Yeah. I was going to say I wish I was a baller.
Dave's
I wish
over
I
here
was
trying to control the world. And
if I had a girl, I would call her. All right.
I'm just going to add on to this question.
Yeah, please do.
New languages. Mandarin, my Spanish is really improving, but Mandarin is just like, oh my God, I don't even know I know where to start, but that is something.
Start a Duolingo.
Yeah, I know, but that's something my tongue will probably never really be able to work with properly. So,
yeah.
And it would be very cool to be able to communicate with all of a sudden, a seventh of the world's population. It's that would be very neat.
Yeah, I've also been trying to learn Chinese. I don't know any. It doesn't. When people start coming up to me and they start talking to me in Chinese, I'm like, I don't know what you're saying.
Thank you for trying, but
please try again later.
I knew
it would make all those high school French classes and then my college Italian class more worth it, because
that's why I got a BS and not a BA, because I knew my brain is not set up for learning new languages.
Yeah.
My Spanish 3 teacher.
Because you're more BS than BA. I get it.
All right.
What's the difference here?
For a BS, you had to take more science classes. And for a BA, we had to take 2 years of a foreign language. And I knew that there was no way that I was getting through 2 years of a foreign language, because that's not how my brain is set up. Shout out Senora Diaz in my hometown, in my high school, if you're still there. She had a rule where you could talk in her class as long as it was in Spanish. Unless it was an emergency. She wasn't if someone was having a medical emergency, you didn't.
I am on fuego.
But
Estoy en fuego.
Puedo ir al baño, por favor. That level of, you need to be able to talk in Spanish in her class. I tried so hard to learn it. My brain is not set up to learn new languages. So if I could have that ability to just know language or learn it easier, that would be the skill that I would choose.
That'd be pretty sweet. Okay, I feel like I know what maybe the answer to this might be for all of you. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
Okay, well, what do you think it's going to be?
Yeah, okay, yeah. First, tell us what you think it's
going to be. Or write it down or something.
Yeah, write it down.
Well, I feel like it's going to have something to do with your career.
Oh, God, no, dude.
Okay.
What? No, you have a crystal ball to know anything?
Jacob just told us he wants to know where his girlfriend is.
So I was wrong. It's not going to be about... nobody was like, oh, that's what I want to know about. That's good. Look, I feel like that clarifies for me your outlook on life as being multidimensional.
We're well-balanced people.
Yeah, okay, I like that. Thank you. Anyway, crystal ball, truth. What do you want? What do you want? I got it right here.
Crystal ball. Wait, okay, hold on. So does the crystal ball give us images, or what was the crystal ball doing here?
I don't know.
What are the limitations? What are the parameters of the crystal ball?
Yeah, what are parameters of crystal ball?
Oh, that's a full wizard.
That's full wizard. Oh, shit. He's got a crystal ball in his hand, too.
Hang on, it's a little janky.
It's
old.
Jeff, can you see that?
No.
Oh my God, this is...
I think I killed it.
It's
So what I have in my hand for Jeff and other listeners is the Wizard. It's a piece of a game that apparently is aimed at preteen girlies. And you're supposed to wave your hand over it and ask it questions. It's like a Magic 8-Ball, but with a wizard inside of it. And it'll talk and it'll give you answers. And I wish...
As a former preteen girly, I feel like whoever made that needs to work on their marketing.
You're supposed to go like, who will be my boyfriend? And it will say, and this is what it sounds like, it'll say, ask again later.
It's literally a Magic 8-Ball, but voiced by a wizard.
Are you there, wizard?
Excellent.
Oh, Jesus Christ, you didn't get the voice wrong at all.
I feel like, you know what? I'm going to get the information that I'm going to get at those points in my life.
Okay.
And that's going to be...
I just don't think it would be useful to know.
I mean, what the wizard, crystal ball, is it showing me images? Like what, or is it just giving me like text output? Like what's the crystal ball doing?
I mean, it will tell you the truth.
Okay, well
whatever that means to you, it will tell you the truth.
Then I'm asking the crystal ball, where is life elsewhere in the universe, and what the hell does it look like if there is?
Definitely.
There you go.
Okay, but still, one, absolutely, because we got here somehow. It's probably happened elsewhere, but what does it look like? It's like, where is it? Where's the closest?
Smacking the wizard.
Yeah.
There's a pretty decent chance that it's reasonably cellular.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, if it's just gonna show like a drop of water. Oh my god!
Sorry, Jeff, you're missing Dave aggressively smacking and shaking the wizard.
This is wizard abuse.
Live, damn you!
Maybe give the wizard a break.
He's had a break for a while.
Wizard's done with these questions.
I think that's probably the...
You asked two questions in a row, and I think that's what broke it.
Yeah, just like...
You get one at a time.
Just like, I'm done.
That was too existential.
Yeah, well, I got it evidently out of the wizard, so at least I got something.
If there's anything about my own future or about myself that I really need to know.
You would ask about life outside of us.
Life in the universe, yeah. Where else is
it? I wouldn't ask it anything. Jeff wouldn't ask it anything. Jacob?
Yeah, I think it's useful.
I would ask it for stock advice. I mean, what's the matter with you people?
Okay.
That's not about me.
Yeah.
I thought the
yes,
prompt
it is.
was
If it
that
makes
had to
me
be
rich,
about my
it's
own
about me.
future.
What lottery?
Just
what
ask
stock
it
should I buy to be
what
rich?
is the next big lotto ticket I should buy?
No. Because I don't know okay, where should I go? What time? And what day should I go to purchase my lottery tickets?
Well, hopefully...
I guess you could ask that.
I mean, I don't think it's playing by genie rules. I think it's playing by, it's not trying to, screw you over here.
No, I was thinking more along the lines of, what company should I gamble on in a legal way to acquire great riches? Because I'm lacking in riches.
Okay, that's valid.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Faith. Everybody else is like, I don't want to know. I don't want to know what my future holds. I'd like it to be a surprise. Guys are dopes.
I don't know if those
I was asking
really,
some other interesting
changing my life that much.
You don't think so? Well,
sure. It's if I had 135 million, there's a 100% chance that I would buy the penthouse in the Pierre Hotel in New York because it's my favorite, dwelling anywhere on the planet. But then I would just live in it. So, what's the difference? I can live not there.
Well, it's well known. It's well known that beyond a certain amount, money is not going to change your life. So,
yeah, as long as you're basically
going to make it better.
Anyway. You know what? Today's episode is also brought to you by the Wizard. You can ask him anything you want, as long as you don't ask him more than 2 questions at a time, because he will quit on you.
If he does not answer your question, Dave will beat him.
Okay. That's our show. Thank you, Daniel, Faith, Jacob, Jeff, for joining me on the show today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Dave.
And what kind of jerk would I be if I didn't thank you, Shortcuts, for making us part of your week? If you're new and you like what you heard today, follow our show wherever fine podcasts are available. You know where they are. Just go there. If it's not there, let me know, and I will make it there. Okay? I will do it. The show is made possible by the Carver College of Medicine Writing and Humanities program and an initial grant from the Carver College of Medicine student government. Our music is by Dr. Vox and Atmosphere. I'm Dave Etler saying, don't let the bastards get you down. Talk to you in 1 week. Hi, Shortcoats. Look, life in medical education, life in America, life in the world is often difficult. And I often wish I could help. All I have is this podcast, but in my wildest dreams, you have the support you need to lead a life of your choosing. You deserve to be happy, healthy, and successful in whatever ways you define those words. So if you need support because you've experienced racism, discrimination, harassment, mental health crises, I want you to be able to get the help that you need. And so I'm going to put some links in the show notes to some resources that you can use. But the bottom line is that for what it's worth, I see you, I know you're out there, I wish I could do more. Maybe I can in ways that I don't understand yet or know about. But I see you, and I'm glad you're here, and other people are too. The Short Code Podcast is a proud member of the MedEd Media Network. Inspiration, information, and